Very quick. Okay, I'll be the first one to test because I know that the technology is always what makes the teams most nervous. So if it doesn't work, I'll go through it first. Good morning, my name is Kara Van Sant. I'm the director of Boise State's Venture College. And I know everyone's worked with Alina. Huge shout out to Alina in the back for making this all possible, our programs and projects coordinator. So we are excited to kick off the Hackfort Tech Challenge. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly because this is the most teams that we have had compete, and I want to make sure we give, oh, see, this is why I'm going through it. Here we go. Got to turn it on. That's the first step. Okay, so we will go through this pretty quick so we can get straight into the pitches. So what to expect here. 4-minute pitch. So each of the teams, I know you've been practicing this, 4-minute pitch. So Alina's gonna have a timer. She's gonna give you warnings. She'll be over here to the side, so just keep your eye on Alina. And then I will kindly cut you off at 4 minutes. So you can finish your train of thought, but at that point, please just make sure that you do stop, and then we'll move into Q&A. We're gonna have 2 to 4 minutes of Q&A, and we have 15 teams competing. So previously, we have only actually had Boise State University represented. This is our first year that we had 4 different universities apply. Idaho State University had also applied, and we have 3 schools competing today. So thank you. I know many of you traveled to get here. We hope you're enjoying the Treefort experience. And if you have any questions or want to know about favorites, I know Alina has a whole schedule built out. I've got a schedule built out. I'm sure judges do ask questions. We're happy to share some of our favorites going on this week. Here's our schedule. I won't go through it line by line, but as you can see, it is pretty back to back, and we have to be out of here at 11:50. So we will make sure we are out of here 11:50. We will also make sure there's photo opportunities. If we need to move out to the hallway or out into the main area, we can definitely do that. Rubric. Pretty small. This is what our judges will be using to score today. I believe many of you, hey, Sean. What? This is perfect. We're gonna do, and you came right in time because we'll switch into sponsors here in just a minute. And so here's what we'll be going off of. They're gonna be looking at, do you understand the customer segment? How strong is your value proposition? How much progress or traction have you made? How likely are you to grow your traction or revenue, and how realistic is your revenue model? And the likelihood of this turning into a real business. So what's really fun, for the first time at Hackfort, we are using a student-made scoring app specific to Venture College. So our judges will be working through that as well. Okay, sponsors. Sean, do you want to come up real quick and say something too? Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. And TM, if you would like to come up, this would not be possible without, this is a partnership with all of our sponsors, with Treefort, Hackfort, Trailhead, Venture College. So real quick, do you want to say a few words?
Yes. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out. I know it's 10 a.m. on a Saturday at Treefort, and if my voice sounds hoarse, it's probably because I've been talking for a week. The rain this morning, of course. I think it's this is like very normal for Treefort. We can't avoid a little bit of weather, but I was outside dealing with our vendor tents this morning and calling my leadership team, and they were like, what's going on? Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming out. This event, personally, to me, this was like a baby to me. And TM, Boise State, like I just always had this dream of giving students a platform, just like what we do at Boise Entrepreneur Week. And it really means a lot to me to like build this base for students to have a place to start at Hackfort that will lead to potentially Entrepreneur Week or lead to anything else, and also it's just a way for me to get people together, students together, to communicate, to meet some of these business owners. So yeah, I mean, I cannot say enough. Thank you, Perkins Coie, Love Every, Trailhead, Matix, Mavic Ventures, Boise State again, Boise Entrepreneur Week, and thank you guys. We couldn't do it without you. And, this thing really it keeps growing. Pretty soon I'm going to have to hire someone just to manage this, which is a good problem to have. So anyways, please have fun. Come say hi. I can't wait for the check. It's going to be really fun. So Thanks, guys.
Sure, I'll keep it super brief. We're just excited to be here as a partner with Boise State Venture College and Treefort and Hackfort. Ecosystem building is a team sport. We can't do it on our own, and today is a really good example of how partners step up to the plate, provide platforms to students. One brief note, the winner will get a golden ticket to the Boise Entrepreneur Week semifinal pitch competition. I bring that up, you already know, because we have a previous winner from the Hackfort Tech Challenge, Brad Moselle, who took that golden ticket, went to Entrepreneur Week, and won more cash. So if that is not incentive enough, you also get free Treefort wristbands, and you can also tell that I had a late night. And on that note, I'll just pass on the mic, and I'm going to go grab the golden ticket real quick and be back.
Yes, thank you, Tiem. And also afterwards, we have several stories that we would be happy to share of both Hackfort Tech Challenge, other partnerships with Boise Entrepreneur Week, and how you really can build and continue on all of this. This is a starting place for any team, whether or not you win today. This is a starting place. We are here as a resource. We are happy to share some success stories, some progress that can be made. So please know, Alina and I are always here, happy to talk about next steps, regardless of the outcome today. So moving forward, and then also I just want to say Matrix. Did I say it right? Matrix.
However you say it is good enough.
Okay, just want to make sure. So thank you so much, sponsors and judges. And any questions? We got time for like one question. I'm waiting for Alina. Oh, we got no times for questions. So talk to the side if you need. I'm happy to answer any. Okay, so we're going to go straight into it, and we're going to have Text Universe. One very important note while I'm getting this pulled up, please talk into the microphone. This is being recorded. If you're not talking into the microphone, you will get audio. You'll get a video with zero audio. So, thank you.
Hello.
Check.
Check. Good morning. A little tired and scared this morning. So, we're going to get this started.
Yep.
Ready, Jonah?
I'm ready. So this is Text Universe, and our problem is our world is becoming increasingly digital, and because of that, 1 in 4 Americans are being left behind due to their disabilities, especially when it comes to using creative tools. So we've been developing Text Universe, which is a tool that allows anyone to create. And when we say anyone, we mean anyone. Regardless if you have a disability or not, you can create using this tool. And people can build these multiplayer games and software and other things using Python and text, and they can add images and other stuff. But because we're specifically targeting text, we can target a very wide audience that many other tools can't. We'll also be targeting the web, mobile, and desktop just to reach the widest audience possible. And here we can see a little example of Text Universe. In the highlighted red, we see kind of like a example description. So say if you're visually impaired and you use a screen reader, your client would get that text, it would read it to you. But someone that isn't visually impaired, such as myself, can also read that text, and we get roughly the same experience.
Right. So our first target audience are storytellers, word builders, and also game developers, and also people with and without disability, because we're trying to include every single person into this with this product. We're going to acquire a lot of our customers through online communities because, like we mentioned before, the world is becoming increasingly digital. And this quote, "Nothing about us without us," is just a quote that emphasizes how a person with disability must be valued as integral contributor to the industry. And Text Universe follows this principle because we're including the 1 in 4 Americans who have previously been excluded due to their current inaccessible tools, which we will talk about in the next few slides. We're making them become an integral part of the digital creation community. And right now, our current competitors are Unreal Engine and Unity. And these take a lot of years to learn. They're not very accessible. And I'm sure Jonah can give some of his experience with these companies.
Yeah, I've been using them for many years, and they are very hard to learn. As of today, though, we've been nearing a minimal viable product. We've also been working with a nonprofit called Virtual Ability that works with people with disabilities in virtual worlds, and we've been able to conduct user studies and other testing through them. We've also had a lot of developers express interest in our tools because they like the process and it's just very unique compared to what's on the market.
This is our team, all three of us. We have a strong experience in program designing and accessibility knowledge as well as finance, which makes us a great team to launch this product.
As far as revenue model is concerned, we really want to make money from two sources. So one, we want an affordable and sustainable revenue plan for us so we can continuously provide value to our customers. We also want to dog food our tool so we can build games and other stuff just to make sure our tool actually works for our customers. And really, as far as cost is concerned, we don't need a lot of capital because this is a primarily digital business. And then long term, it'll just be servers, marketing, and employees. As far as what's next is launching our MVP, and after enough traction, user testing, launching our full product. But most importantly, today your investment will allow us to make creating more accessible for everyone. Thank you.
We'll open it up to judges for, we have 2 minutes for questions. And there's a mic on the table. Thank you.
How far along in the development of your platform are you?
We're really close to a minimal viable product. We can pretty much, besides some bug fixing, we could throw it up on the web today.
And what would be the kind of initial go-to-market for that?
So effectively, as far as bringing it to market, we would really want to focus on alpha testing at that stage. We want to focus on through, say, virtual ability, reaching out to them, getting more users, making sure our tool is accessible. And then, but also starting to do reach out on various online communities that are used to testing tools like this. So that would kind of be our main focus.
All right, thank you.
I guess a follow-up question, do you have any screenshots or pictures of what it actually looks like out there? Did I miss it in there?
Yes, so here's a really good screenshot of, say, a web interface, but kind of like, say, a web browser, we can provide many different clients to make sure that it fits the user's need best.
Are you guys using AI in this?
So we're currently not using AI because we're just kind of looking and evaluating how it works, but you could totally, though, you could use AI, we're looking at it, we're just waiting for it to mature.
Awesome, great job, thank you. Trade McGoif, did I say that right? Trade McGoif. Okay. Yep, there's a clicker and then 2 mics over there. You can use this one if needed. And then we're just gonna wait to make sure we see our judges are ready. So if you could give me a thumbs up when you're ready. Thank you. Let's just give it 1 minute. All right, we good? Okay, you're good to start. Thank you.
Alrighty, I'm Thomas. I'm over operations of Trade McGoif.
I'm Brad. I'm over development of Trade McGoif.
And I'm Bobby. I'm the CEO of Trade McGoif. So Trade McGoif is a Magic the Gathering trading app. So Magic the Gathering is a trading card game. It's a physical game that is the biggest trading card game in the world, and it has grossed over $1 billion in 2022. And it's still growing today. And the reason why we want to make this product is because cards are each individually worth money, and people, instead of buying them, trade for them. And so the way you trade is you bring your physical binder to people in the game store, and then you show them your cards, you try to make a trade. The problem is that there is no good way to do it over the internet right now. There's good platforms for buying Magic cards. There's good platforms for selling Magic cards. But right now, there's not a good platform for trading Magic cards. And so we want to just fill that gap and make a product. So our product is going to be a trading app that will streamline trading. It'll not only encourage online trading, but it'll also encourage local trading, and we'll be able to make players safely trade, and we'll have an online binder. This is a little visual of our app. So you can type in any name in Magic the Gathering out of the 90,000 cards. It'll bring up every player who has that card in their binder, and you can easily click on trade and trade with them. It'll also show you their reputation and how many other cards they might have that you want. So how are we going to make money? So it is going to be a free trading app, but we will have shards as our in-app currency. This will allow players, so every trade you're required to spend 15 shards to make a trade. And you can just buy shards with real money, or you can watch a 30-second ad to gain 10 shards. So this way we're able to keep players wanting more shards and keep trading. We're also going to have a way to use the shards in the trading so you can equalize trades. So if I have a $10 card and the person I'm trading with has a 15, I can use 500 shards to equalize the trade. And here's some market validation. So it's Hasbro's first billion-dollar company is Magic the Gathering. And over the past 10 years, there's been $5 billion of Magic cards in circulation. And that's really our target, is we're trying to get those cards and get people to trade them. So right now, there are 15,000 online traders. But because there's not a good platform, there are 50 million players. So there's a lot of people who are not trading online right now. And so we just want to bring a lot of those 50 million to the online space, to our platform. Oops. Okay. So our target audience is 73% male and between 18 and 35. And we hope to expand to other trading card games in the future. The one that we're most excited about is Lorcana. They just came out last year. It's by Disney. And they're trying to get into the card trading game. And last year they matched Magic the Gathering, the biggest card trading game in revenue. And so I'm really excited about that one, and we're hoping to get into it fast. But here's our team. We all have played Magic for lots of years. We love Magic, and it's a problem we've had the whole time we played. So, yeah. All right, any questions?
Talk to us a little bit about the shipping process. Mm-hmm. When a trade successfully completes itself on your platform, what does it look like for your customers to then exchange those cards physically?
Yeah, so we will have two options. You can either ship between each other, and that will be you're required to buy a tracking number for both parties, or you can ship through us, and it'll be an extra charge. But through us, it's an escrow, so we'll be able to protect them, give them a protection coverage, just to protect their cards, make sure they're not stolen or fake cards or anything like that.
How are you going to prevent fraud on behalf of your users?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to either train ourselves or hire someone that's an expert in identifying real cards. And then we're going to have the customers buy sort of like an insurance or protection plan if they're trading cards that are more valuable. And it will act like as a middleman. It'll come to us and we verify, and then we complete the trade.
I've got one more. It seems like you've put a lot of thought into the numbers of this business, the shards, the sort of digital currency. How many users do you need before you start to see a profit with this?
So right now we will need 20,000 users to break even. So our cost to start everything is just under $4,000. It's not really that much. But once we hit 20,000 users, we expect to just be making profit after that. So.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, is it Arbotics? Arbotics? Arbotics. Awesome. Yes, we'll give the judges just a second, and I have the clicker, which will help.
Testing. There we go. There we go. Okay.
Awesome. So we'll just give them a minute and then. And you guys are welcome to talk while we're waiting, or if we all just remain silent, it puts a lot of pressure on the judges to really hurry, get their scores in. So.
I love robotics.
Thanks, Kate.
That's the energy that's needed for Saturday morning. That works well. So especially if anyone was out tree forting yesterday, got to keep that going. So. Just a show of hands, how many people traveled in for the competition? That's incredible. Yeah, thank you. How are we doing? We're good? Okay, we'll have them start if that's okay. You're good.
Okay. Hello, my name is Jason Simonson, and I'm here with my product, Robotics, an augmented reality learning tool to inspire creativity in kids through virtual robotics. The current problem is that there's a lack of learning about robotics in current STEM kids today, and the main current robotics company, First Robotics, does encourage kids to learn about robotics in their own way, but there are some gaps in that learning. From being a part of a first high school robotics team, I noticed those gaps firsthand. I also noticed how expensive it could be for teams to go to competitions and for teams to get parts. Competitions can range anywhere from $1,000 to $22,000, and parts can be between $20 and $1,000. So our solution is Robotics, an augmented reality learning tool to help kids 6 to 14 get inspired to learn about robotics through virtual learning. It is a hands-on and approachable learning experience for all ages with certain learning modules and challenges targeted towards certain age groups of elementary school, middle school, and high school ages. It helps fill in any gaps from First Robotics, and it also is less expensive and almost completely free for our users to experience. There's a huge market opportunity for this. On average, there are about 200,000 elementary school kids a year who take part in a First Robotics team, and 80,000 of which transfer to the high school level. And currently, there are more than 5,000 First Robotics teams in the US alone. So our primary entry market is kids 6 to 14. We're targeting those who are creative and curious, as well as any students who are currently involved in a First Robotics team to enhance their STEM capabilities and their learning about robotics. We will achieve this by going to elementary and middle school STEM nights, going to any official First Robotics events and giving those robotics students at those events a hands-on experience with robotics, as well as having a strong social media presence and a website for users to discover us and to find out more information about us. So with the STEM nights, the robotics events, and the social media presence and website, we'll also be able to target parents and educators. That way, they can also get robotics in the hands of their students and kids if they're not in our primary entry market. So our initial revenue plan is a freemium model where the download will be completely free on the Google Play Store for right now. We will eventually go to iOS, but for testing purposes, it is currently only on Android right now. Users can upgrade to pay to upgrade to premium plan to unlock everything that Robotics has to offer. But if a casual user doesn't want to pay, then they can still enjoy the free preview of Robotics. So we have a fully working prototype of Robotics that has been tested by both students and STEM professionals who are currently involved in robotics or were previously involved in robotics. And it is under a constant revision phase, so our first iteration in October is a lot different than our current iteration, and will continue to change in the upcoming weeks and months. So next phase of robotics is to have a team-based element in our challenges, so the users get that cooperation element to something similar that they would find on a First Robotics team, as well as to continue expanding our team and building that social media presence, as well as to release version 1 of Robotics by summer of this year. And so currently, the team consists of me, who's the technical lead. I'm experienced in augmented reality technology, as well as the engine being used to create robotics. And then between my two teammates, Tracy and Orion, they have business, marketing, and social media experience between them. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit how you would package this product to go for schools in general. Would you position this as something they could build into their curriculum? Talk to us a little bit about how you plan to mesh this with education.
Yeah, so currently, that plan is currently under process because education is more of a secondary market, because I know education is a very hard market to get into. But from my experience, a lot of robotics teams are an outside school activity, and not a lot of schools have a robotics class per se. And so it would be more as a targeting for the clubs that have the robotics element, or any classes that have that official robotics class in it.
How much do you need as far as runway money in order to be able to continue the development you're talking about until it launches?
Yeah, currently the prediction's around 60 to 75,000 to deliver that medium quality product. We have the MVP right now, but it can continue to progress and evolve in the future, and so we will also need to market this and whatnot, and well as to get any website domains and get any social media platforms as well.
And I would say that we can bootstrap this ourselves in the first phase, but the intellectual property protection and websites and some of those things would probably be about $1,500 to $2,000.
The hardest part is cutting people off. And I don't know necessarily what our judges have afterwards, but if students or if you have follow-up questions once we're out of the room too, because I know we have to be out at 11:50, is it okay if they follow up with you with questions out in the main area? Thank you. I just put them on the spot with that question, so thankfully they said yes. Plane to orbit, you'll be up next, and we can get your slideshow ready. And this is I'm gonna just kind of put you on the spot here, but this is a great example of how events can build on each other. So you have now competed in High School Idaho Entrepreneur Challenge, in the Idaho Entrepreneur Challenge, and now here at Hackfort. So it just shows. Yes, third.
So far, 3 competitions, 0 wins.
But a lot of practice, good feedback. We're gonna keep building and moving forward. So let's see. Are you guys okay if we keep it rolling? And okay, awesome.
Okay, hello, does it work?
Let's check. And then, you'll need the clicker.
Can you hear me? All right, hello, my name is Ivan, and I'm presenting Plane to Orbit. A little bit about me. I love airplanes. I built my first airplane in 2017, and since then I couldn't stop. I just kept building. I moved to United States from Russia 2 years ago by myself, and so far I completed 11 internships in aerospace companies. There is names of the companies. There is not 11 companies. I completed at one company several times. And I got a full-ride scholarship to California Institute of Technology, Caltech. So the problem that I'm trying to solve is high cost of launching anything to low Earth orbit. It's, as you can see, costs around $10,000 to launch anything per kilogram. There is an option $1,200, but it's not really working right now. And I think that I would be able to launch something at $800 per kilogram. So it would be much cheaper. So the market opportunity. The demand is rising. As you can see, it's going up exponentially. There is a drop around 2000s, but it's because Russia stopped launching rockets after the space race ended. So this is how graph would look like without Russia, about. So it's actually going up. So launching anything to space is very, very hard. So I decided to start with the simplest thing I could. The easiest thing is CubeSats. It's a standard for small satellites, 5 by 5 by 5 inches. And right now it costs to launch that CubeSat from $100,000 to $150,000. So like 5 by 5 by 5 inches, weighs 3 pounds, and costs $150,000 to launch it to space. And so I think with my project, I would be able to launch something for under $50,000. It will cost about $4,000 for fuel, actually $3,000, but I just run it up. And I estimated that it would cost $3,500 on labor. So it would be 2-3 times cheaper than right now. So let's actually look at actual airplane. This is the airplane that I'm building. It's a scale model. Exactly this model was tested at Embry-Riddle University Wind Tunnel at Prescott last year, December. Also, I'm building my own turbojet engine for it. It's hard to estimate the exact cost, but it costed anywhere from $6,000 to $7,000 to build it. I designed it and currently building it, so it's probably will take me another 2-4 months to even run it. So I don't even know if it's gonna work yet. And there are some examples of parts. The parts were 3D printed from steel, from Inconel. Virginia Tech University sponsored combustion chamber. It's printed from steel and costed $780. This is a list of, I think, all of my sponsors. There was many private sponsors, just people giving money to the project, but this is the main ones. And this is Dr. Orfling, and sponsor, this is the owner of a company, Spantech. He came from Kentucky to Prescott, Arizona to see the wind tunnel test of that airplane. So go to market. Right now, space industry is a little bit different from any other because there are so few companies and basically anyone who, 1 minute. Okay, so I go really fast. So basically, so I have a YouTube channel with almost 11,500 subscribers, and my most video got 250,000 views almost. And this is a progress over the years, how airplane was tested. And next steps is to run the engine in 2024, first flight a prototype in 2024, and then break the record for the fastest radio control airplane in 2025, and finally launch a satellite in 2028, hopefully. And this is my team. Any questions? Yeah.
So how are you going to do it 3 times cheaper than other people?
Because basically it's not really an airplane, it's a 2-stage rocket, but it has wings. So I will be able to recover the whole thing. And also rocket engines, like turbojet engines, are 22 times more fuel efficient than rocket engines. And I would be getting third way into space 22 times more fuel efficient. And also I'm going to be saving the whole thing. So basically it's going to be like kind of like a space shuttle, but it doesn't need that huge fuel tank. It recovers the whole thing. So I will make money by charging companies and people who want to launch something to space, if they need any satellite, payload, anything. Except weapons.
Do you know, could you walk through like the legalities of being allowed to launch something into space and kind of what those hurdles would look like regardless of the product?
Like a license or? Yeah. Yes, so it's actually very hard to get anything to license, but since I'm going to be doing it under Caltech laboratory, this process for me will be much simpler.
Is this limited to 1 by 1 by 1 items? How large of a satellite could you launch?
So theoretically, you can build a airplane as large as Concorde or like 737, but it's like a very long way to go. So I decided this airplane is just 3 feet wingspan, 1 meter, and it's a prototype. The actual airplane that will be launching one EU satellite, 5 by 5 by 5 inches, is going to be 6 feet wingspan and about 8-10 feet in length.
Great job. Okay, we have situational awareness through virtual experiences. Save will be next. And while the judges are scoring, I just want to share an opportunity that, as everyone's pitching, realize would be a great opportunity, especially whether or not you have a tie to these two schools. So both University of Idaho and Boise State University are part of the NSF I-Corps programming, and we offer. There's a $3,000 stipend. So it is an incubator program. We're in our second of a 5-year grant, and it's tailored towards deep technology ideas, which each of yours would fall under. And there's cohorts within this year, moving into the next as well, that if you're interested, it's really heavily based on customer discovery, great opportunity. If you complete it, then you can receive a $3,000 stipend. So sync with Alina and I. If you're at University of Idaho, we can give you your contact at U of I. Many of you know George Tanner, I'm sure, so he'd be a great one. Yeah, all the heads are nodding. And if you're not at Boise State or U of I, come talk to Alina and I. You have a tie through Venture College coming through our programming. So talk to us after. Judges, you okay if we get started? Awesome.
All right, good morning. Is this on? Okay, good morning. I'm here to talk to you today about SAVE, Situational Awareness Through Virtual Experiences. So of the 9 million undergraduate female students in 2021, over 25% experienced sexual assault while attending their college or university. To help combat this, all Title IX institutions, so that's any educational institution which receives federal funding, is mandated to provide training for their employees. This training is ultimately ineffective, though, as it doesn't have that emotional tie. What SAVE does is we create a virtual environment where individuals can get that training and the emotional connection to our characters. These scenarios include sexual assault, sexual harassment, stalking or dating violent scenarios where the individuals will be able to gain experience and become more confident in handling the scenarios. SAVE brings professional level virtual training to the colleges and universities. So while most corporate environments do have virtual soft skill training programs, SAVE would capitalize in the under-recognized but vitally important non-corporate areas, including public school districts, clubs and organizations, and higher educational institutions. The Girl Scouts of America have already indicated great interest, and they're among the first of the clubs and organizations in SAVE. We've also had multiple different Title IX institutions express their interest in incorporating SAVE into their RA's training experiences. So of the higher educational institutions which are required to provide this training, the main individuals receiving this training would be the resident assistants in their housing and residence life programs. It is vitally important that these individuals receive decent training that they can actually implement into their lives and their schedules, as this is the first line of responders when a student is facing a crisis and they're looking for somebody for help. Having personally been through this training twice, I can tell you that while it does a good job of educating them about their duties as a mandatory reporter, it leaves them ultimately unprepared to handle these situations in real life. The current training only has between a 5 to 10% retention rate, but by using SAVE's active learning experiences, we can boost that number to 75%. We also use a simple character design, which transcends the boundaries of both race and gender, as we realize that anybody can be a victim in these scenarios. We also include simple, straightforward, emotional displays using shapes, colors, and movements to help convey this in a simple way. So we're currently planning on launching within 6 months, with additional scenarios being rolled out on a bi-monthly basis. We have $500 for our annual subscription for 5 licenses. We have a market of about 5,000 campuses, and that's only talking about the Title IX institutions. If we can get just 10% of these guys to adopt SAVE, we're looking at about $300,000 of revenue within the first year. So our next steps, with your investment, we'd be able to expand our team to include a mental health professional. This would help us to develop these scenarios in more effective ways in a quicker time schedule. And then we'd be able to break out on our target market. thank you. Please join SAVE on our mission on properly equipping individuals to handle these challenging scenarios.
How many people have you had go through like the training? Like, have you guys like beta tested with users, and what's been the feedback on it?
Yeah, so everybody that we've gotten feedback has said that SAVE is necessary, and everybody's kind of wondered why we haven't done this before. From all of the RAs that I've talked with, they use role-playing scenarios now, but the challenge with the role-playing scenarios is that the actors are not real actors. They're other housing staff members who most of them have not actually been a victim in these scenarios, and they all respond completely differently. So your level of training is very inconsistent across different training scenarios.
What kind of protection would you have against other people getting into the same or releasing a similar product as you?
Yeah, so our current protection is just doing it first. I think that our greatest competitors would be the corporate environment because they already do have the soft skill training programs, but they have had decades to build out the soft skill training programs for these universities and other areas, and apparently they don't see a point in doing it. They've only been working with corporate environments, so we would just do it first and do it better.
Okay, is it ID reach? Is that right? Okay. Let's check. Yeah, and then let's get this in. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And then if you could just double check the clicker.
Yay. Hi, I'm Abigail with Idaho. Oh,
Are you okay? Are
sorry.
we good? That was, yeah, you're good. You're good.
Whoops. I'm Abigail with Idaho Reach, connecting Idahoans with a difference. So the problem is figuring out how to testify bills in the legislature and even knowing about the current bills that are being processed. So this would be an app that provides 3 simple steps to make it easier for you to engage with current legislation that will possibly become law and to have more of a voice in our local government. So the first thing is we would provide AI summaries of bills. So you don't have to read pages and pages and pages of legal jargon. Next, we would have ways for you to tell your reps how to vote. So you don't have to go to the Capitol in person. You can just click a button. You don't even have to send an email. And then hopefully it would be cool to see your reps' community engagement stats and compare representatives to see how they're doing, so there's more accountability. The market opportunity is Boise and then Treasure Valley and Idaho. I just put up the population, but obviously it would be more geared toward voting age citizens. The go-to market is high school students and young adult voters. These are the people who are more likely to be unsure how to engage with their local government. And obviously high school students can't vote yet, so this is a great way for them to get more involved without having to vote. Competition, mainly Babe Vote. Also really cool companies like Constructive Dialogue Institute and Starts With Us, who provide training and education, but this would be more of like a Idaho-centric company that connects people to their legislators, and the other organizations don't really have that. Revenue model, honestly, I'm not sure if this is anywhere close to accurate, but I think it would be cool to have social media partnerships with companies like Hello Meridian and work with local businesses to throw their ads up on the app. And then also when it's campaign time, like for mayor, like mayoral candidates can throw up their election signs. Obviously we'd say we don't endorse any one candidate, we're just putting up everyone's campaigns. Progress right now, this is just an idea, but I talked with students in ASBSU and they were really excited about it. And this is next steps. We design a prototype, hire an app developer, and hopefully expand after testing. Oops. And this is me. I'm just really excited about civic engagement. So thank you. Any questions?
It seems like your revenue model is really focused on partnerships and advertisements. I might have misinterpreted that, but how do you plan on training your AI model to reduce bias as it summarizes these bills?
That's a really good question. I don't actually know. I'd have to do more research on that. Thanks for asking.
How would you get public officials on board with in an application like this?
Ooh, again, I also haven't thought a lot about that. I think my biggest draw is like this might get you more likely to be elected because people see you up here and they see that you're engaging with the community, and so they feel like they might be more likely to be represented. And so if you are a legislator and you're connecting with people on this app, then people might know you and they might be more likely to vote for you.
Guardian pin. Let's see. Just test that. Awesome. And then we'll give the judges just a minute. Okay. It's usually a good sign when we can see their eyes that we're good to go. This is the most like on track, Alina with her signs, and I have to admit everyone's staying to 4 minutes. This is very impressive because I haven't had to cut any teams off, so thank you for that. Yeah, knock on wood. Yeah, sorry for any teams I just jinxed with that statement. So, all right, judges, if it's okay, we'll get started.
All right, I'm going for it. So I'll be introducing Guardian Pin, keeping your children close even from afar. So every day in the United States, there's 960 emergency room visits by children from injuries that happen in or around the home. With the top contributors being unsupervised wandering that lead to injury, household cabinet chemical poisonings, and then also backyard pool drownings, which is also the #1 cause of death, children ages 1 through 4. Surveys show 4 out of 5 parents have lost their child in or around the home. Outside of the home, there are 460,000 children that are reported missing every single year in the United States. And surveys show 3 out of 5 parents have lost their child outside of the home. This is all preventable, and it really is what led me to design a product that would be able to significantly reduce this number. Introducing Guardian Pin. Guardian Pin is a wearable technology that is used by infants to children that detects dangerous areas and will alarm caregivers or parents if they cross or approach a predefined geofence. Stay connected with live video and 2-way audio. Guardian Pin is going to be your partner in ensuring your child's safety. Guardian Pin technology. So ultra wideband is used for indoor tracking and geofencing technology. The reason is this has a 1 to 10 centimeter accuracy. And then outside of the home is going to be forfeited with your regular GPS. And this is also going to be used for tracking and your geofencing capabilities, like I said, outside of the home. Also forfeited is 2-way audio and a camera. And this is just so parents can tap in and see what their child is seeing or talk to them if they're going into a spot that is dangerous. But this is just so any parent can tap in whether or not there's an alarm. Market growth. So there's a huge market growth. Baby monitor market is looking to almost double by 2029, and then the wearable technology market is looking to do 2.5 times by 2029. And I believe Guardian Pin will have a seat at this table once we are introduced. Go into market. So first, we're going to target tech-savvy parents of young children. The primary way of advertisement is we're going to send this product to influencers. There's parenting influencers online, and there's a lot of them. And we're going to have them test and review our products, and we're going to spend money on that so they can make promotional videos like this one I have posted. Another big step for Guardian Pin will be acquiring child safety organization sponsorships. This will hopefully give us more funding, establish trust in our product, as well as giving us a whole nother avenue of customers. So where we're at. I just got done with the Boise incubator program. I conducted a lot of surveys for potential customers. I'm an IAC finalist, soon to be Hackfort finalist or winner. And I have a prototype that is in progress. So who am I? Who am I? I am Jacob Stubers. I'm a mechanical engineer. I have experience in hardware design and manufacturing from the University of Idaho. I am working with Boise State graduate students in the cybersecurity realm to make this a very secure product. I'm building this up with them because that is one concern that I've talked to or that I've heard from all of my surveys is security questions. Next steps. So my next step really is finishing up this prototype. I need either funding or help in the software engineering side of things. I've really been diving into all myself, but I think we need to get to market ASAP. And so this is going to be the one thing that really gets us there quick is software engineering and then ultra wideband technology integration. So I need funding and help for that. Once we have a working prototype, we're going to move to in-home testing, make our final critiques, pinpoint our manufacturers, and then bring that into the influencer realm to create the buzz for all of the parents. So help Guardian Pin be the next breakthrough in child safety technology. Are there any questions?
Yeah, what does your revenue model look like?
Oh, there we go. So the interviews, I have the minimum numbers on here for the cost to consumer. 200 is what everybody was saying that they're more than okay with, and it went up to $899, $900 was a number that I threw out there, and I would say about 50% of them were okay with spending if all of the features that I provided would be able to work.
How far in the development of the prototype are you?
So I started deep diving into a lot of different technologies.
I was going to ask you that.
This is just the development board that I'm using, and then also the pin that will be on the back of it that is for the ultra wideband is just this pin right here. So before the incubator program, I was really deep diving into object detection, visual stuff like that. With that program, it really helped me develop where I need to point this direction, whether it's technology or the needs. So that's really what this last 4 months has been, is just figuring out where I'm going, and now I feel like I'm in a really good spot to actually go hard on this prototype.
Do you know, say you got money, how long would it take you to get the prototype there? I know you're kind of working through some of that right now, but do you kind of know exactly if I got this, that would be the next step?
Yep. Live streaming video and the alarms for the ultra wideband, those are the first two things. If I had someone in the software realm of things, I think it would be done within 2 months. It's all this stuff is developed. We're just taking all those technologies and merging it into one.
Before Kara jumps up, how long will the battery last?
So right now I'm rating the battery for 8 hours, and it would easily be able to fit on it. But we have a lot of flexibility with our battery because everything is off-boarded and nothing is done on the board, so it doesn't consume a lot.
Okay, super quick. We have a couple seconds left. Talk to us about how you differentiate yourself from existing products that are similar to this and how you plan to ward off competition in the future.
Yes, exactly. So I'm different because all the monitors right now are usually for sleep, and there's monitors for your kids to wear when they go outside of the home. This is for inside the home for all the dangerous areas where all the injuries and deaths actually happen at. There's nothing on the market that is for in-home, but we also have the capability of going outside of the home that all the other competitors do.
That was now the judges were the problem, not the team. So.
Thank you.
Nice job. So I think Jacob's the new venture college salesperson. So thank you. If you want to learn more about the incubator, please pull Alina and I aside too. Happy to talk about that program. A great way to continue to build on your ideas. So Chemo Navigator will be next. Thank you. And if you could just test this, make sure it's working. Okay. And judges, I know you're still typing in, but if it's okay, we're gonna get started to keep going.
Good morning. I'm here to tell you about Chemo Navigator. Imagine you've just been diagnosed with cancer. You've had your first chemotherapy infusion a few days ago. You wake up at 2 a.m. and you have extreme nausea. You've been given a couple different medications to deal with this nausea, and you can't figure out your medication. You're flipping through a stack of papers that have been given to you, and it's very clinical based, and you just can't figure it out. Now imagine a different scenario. What if there was a web portal for facilities and patients where you invited at a prior appointment? You log on, you review your anti-nausea medications, and you know the correct medication to take. It's presented in a format that you can understand given your circumstances, and you also know that you don't have to call your doctor after hours for an emergency appointment. With that, you're able to go back to sleep. A platform like this would include modern features like automated email and text follow-ups to ensure that patients understand their self-care regimen, the ability for patients to track their own side effects, automated check-ins to ensure that patients aren't having an oncologic emergency, and an AI risk factor model can be built to ensure, based on the patient's severity, to adjust the timing and the frequency of all of these things. What I've just illustrated is a problem that outpatient chemotherapy infusion centers have. Patients require a high level of self-care, and there's a patient knowledge gap that gets in the way of being able to provide this high level of self-care. Patients are often scared, dying, and they're dealing with their new identity as a cancer patient. The status quo is a huge time commitment. It consists of a lot of extra phone calls and voicemails and extra appointments that a lot of these things just don't end up being billable time, so they don't become the priority for this high level of care provided. Competitively, it looks like there's EMRs that are simply digitizing already confusing information. There's a product that is specific to an internal role only, and there's another one that is not facing the patient. But there's something missing in the middle here for the patient experience. The revenue model is an annual recurring revenue subscription paid for by the hospital or the facility. Target pricing is based on enrolled patients per year, and my current target is $99 annually. To give you an idea of the customer size, facilities often serve well over 1,000 patients at any given time. Nationally, the market opportunity is quite large. Sizing down for Idaho, we have 11,000 new cancer patients diagnosed every year. In order to go to market, I need to do more customer development and then use that to build an MVP product, and from there, a beta launch with a partner facility. To date, I built a version 1 prototype and then a marketing website as well. The team consists of myself with 15 years of software engineering experience in both startups and larger companies, and my wife is my advisor who has many years experience in oncology. If given prize money, this will go towards web development costs, server setup costs, and any travel-related expenses for customer development on site with customers. That concludes my presentation. Thank you. Any questions?
On your pricing model, how does that compare to other medical advice style products?
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm not really sure because a lot of medical stuff is very enterprise, and it's just schedule a demo with us. So there's not, I don't know sources of information of how pricing is for, say, Epic and other things. It's a very enterprise sales model where there's, they give you a price based on how much you can afford, I think, is what it is.
So do you envision this expanding outside of cancer treatment to other areas, or is this really kind of a cancer only?
I think that's probably a future market. I think there's a lot of patient experience opportunity there because a lot of, like I said, with the EMR product, Epic is just presenting digitized information that is really just clinical. It's not really, it's difficult for patients and lay people to understand, even myself. There's a lot of, I think, opportunity there in a broader sense, yeah.
Would the plan be to be able to integrate into like some of the EMR, EHR systems?
Yeah.
Instead of being a standalone system?
Yeah, being able to pull in the patient treatment plan and things like that. There's awful lot of different EMRs available, so it would be picking maybe a few to integrate with, kind of the big ones. Yeah, that would be the ideal thing to import it.
Okay, Tackle Technologies.
So before we get started, this is our prototype. I want to give it to you guys to look at. Please be careful with it because it is fragile.
It's heavy because of the baling wire inside.
And we'll just give them a minute or so, and then that's awesome. And yeah, if you can make sure both mics are on. That's good.
Check 1.
Check 2. Hi, I'm Emily Segrist.
And I'm Alexa Coltrane.
And we're Tackle Technologies. And we both grew up on farms. And so if you can see here, this was our family's solution to how we were going to handle baling wire. And if you guys have ever dealt with baling wire, it's usually really rusty and gross. And it's just kind of a pain in the butt to deal with in general.
Yeah, definitely. A problem with it is the rust and the sharp edges. It's not comfortable to deal with, and when you have to cut it, you have to have a tool on hand or something to detangle it.
So we wanted to develop a product that addressed these issues. So with our product, we wanted to include a cutter and a case that would be ergonomic and easy to use for our user.
Yeah, so as you can see on the actual prototype, our cutter is without a blade. It's a shear cutting mechanism that prevents, getting fingers pinched or any other pinch points that could lead to, damage or injury. It also extends and retracts all in one mechanism, which was an important feature that we gathered from our research.
So with our market opportunity, we wanted to mainly target anyone who uses wire in general, so farmers, welders, or craftsmen, really anyone that would use wire in their day-to-day life and make it easier for them.
Yeah, especially now after COVID, a lot of individuals, especially our age demographic, got into DIY and doing it yourself, doing crafts, becoming a hobbyist. And so we wanted to have a product that was easy and safe to use for people of any demographic.
We really are in the age of hobby farmers. So with that, we wanted to work with our local community and local feed and grain stores to market to these farmers that are getting into these small-scale farming industry where, they don't want to deal with the messy wire that really is a requirement for farming.
Yeah, and one of the opportunities that we're looking into getting into is having an online storefront, also advertising on social media, such as Instagram, where a lot of the DIY influencers would be.
So with our revenue model, we're able to produce our product here for about $5. And so ideally, we would sell our product for around $45, leaving us a profit margin around $39. And so with that, we think that we can really start selling this product to these influencers.
So progress to date, we started our project about September of last year, doing product needs and requirements, gathering information from different groups on Facebook and different people in the community to get their opinions on what they would want in a product like this. We've done multiple different concepts and brainstorms and prototyping. Right now, we are doing a target assessment of our audience as well as mass production research.
So ideally right now, we're wanting to start with the 3D printed product that you see here and increasing the quality that we have in our product. So our next steps is we need funding right now to start up with our manufacturing costs, continue with our patenting process. We are currently working with a student advisor on our campus to start and complete a provisional patent. So this is our team. I'm Emily Segrist. I am a design specialist.
I'm Alexa Coltrane, and I am manufacturing specialist. We also have 2 other individuals that are also in engineering, but have backgrounds in finance and modeling.
And we'll have to switch into questions. Oh,
Yep, that's it. That's us.
My question relates to the intellectual property that you filed for. What part of the device are you seeking patent protection on?
The cutting portion.
It's very clever.
Thank you.
So we've done a little bit of market research, and the only other product that we found that was even close to being similar, if you want to go to that next slide, is this device that encases the baling wire, but it has no cutting mechanism. This is also a $35 product, us increasing the abilities of having it retractable and cutting kind of accounts for that price difference that we will be having.
Question about your distribution network plan and any interest you've had from distributors in helping with the distribution.
So I think I can speak for the both of us that because we grew up in a farming community, we have a wide interest with just the people that we know, but then also we have been talking with other farmers in the community around Rexburg where we're going to school, and there's a great interest. A warranty? We haven't looked into that yet, but I think that is something that we should definitely consider.
Yeah, and depending on further going on with manufacturing processes and refining the quality of the product, we'll also take into account with that.
Thank you so much. Protecto, you're up next. Yeah, great job. Can you test it? Make sure it's working?
Yes, it's working.
And the clicker?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome. And judges, I am so sorry. I'm going to keep us moving or else we'll be kicked out of the room before. So you're good to go.
When I first came to the United States, I bought a black adapter for only $6. I felt so lucky, but suddenly I felt so stupid. It turns out it's a scam, and $500 were pulled out of my bank account. And turned out I'm not the only victim. Last year, Americans lost $8.8 billion because of scams. From there, Protecto was born. Protecto is a browser extension. Once downloaded, whenever you hover over a link on the web, instant warnings will pop up on your screen, telling you whether that link is safe or not. And if you want to dig deeper, you can even know what kind of data this website is collecting about you, or let's say, stealing from you. And if you decide, you can click that button, block the website, it will never bother you again. For the market, we're looking at over 220 million users, Chrome users, just in the United States. And we're estimating to acquire over 10 million users by the first 10 years of operations. We conducted over 45 interviews to validate our market, to know that our target customer is tech-savvy, privacy-conscious, and browse the net on a regular basis. Our customer acquisition cost is estimated around $18, with a roughly estimated LTV of $95, and leading to 30K paying subscribers during our first year. We will opt for paid ads, organic content, and influencer marketing. These are the dominant browser extension in this space. So how Protecto is any different? Protecto goes beyond warnings and pop-ups. We provide our users personalized reports to improve their browsing behavior. So think of us as your online coach to healthier online experience. Pop-ups and warnings can be very annoying for some people, but not for our users. Protecto gives you control to actually manage and customize pop-ups to your preferences, so you can choose when and how to see them. Also, through our social media presence, unlike many competitors with no or very limited social media presence, we're committed to build a community of people educated about this matter and ready to join our movement. For the revenue model, we're following a subscription model with 3 plans. A free plan to maximize adoption, a standard plan for $3.99, and a premium plan for $5.99 per month. Progress to date, since we started, we won first place in the cybersecurity mini pitch competition during Boise Entrepreneur Week. And we developed, tested, and validated our business model canvas through our participation in both the NSF I-Core program and the Venture College Incubator. For the next steps, we'll continue with developing the software and start our pre-launch social media campaign. We're estimating to launch by the end of this year, 2024. So for the team, it's me, Youssef, a business student, a TEDx speaker with 2 years of marketing experience and social media management. Yusur, a software engineer with 2 years of experience. We're driven, we complement each other, and we have very aligned visions. So who's ready to surf safe with Protecto?
With the winnings that you had from the other events, what did that go to, and what did you guys do with the technology from that, using those winnings?
Yes, so we started working on the project on January. So this is when we started. We developed the website, so we have a website developed right now, and we invested a lot of time in developing the brand, the logo, because it's very sensitive when it comes to cybersecurity, so we wanted to work on that. And we also developed a social media strategy. We invested in a growth hacking course.
Who decides whether a site is a problem, and how do you keep that? How do you keep ahead of the hackers or fraudsters?
Yes, we actually integrate with existing APIs and databases out of the web to know whether the website is safe or not. So we know, through the ratings, whether this website is safe or not. And we try to be innovative and up to date. So these databases need to be updated, and yes.
I know you mentioned a few things that differentiates you from your current competition, but what is would you say the single most impactful feature that Protecto offers consumers that current solutions don't?
Yeah. So actually, I said we provide them with reports, monthly reports, to improve their browsing behavior. So your browsing behavior can improve through Protecto. So we give you a status, your current status and how you can improve it, recommendation. For example, last month you visited 80% of the websites you visited are not safe, and you're not visiting HTTPS websites. So you can actually visit HTTPS websites and you can track your progress until you reach a healthier browsing experience. So this is one of the features we're offering, which is different. And something that our competitors do not offer is actually social media, which is something very surprising for me when it comes to cybersecurity. That's why we're trying to build a community of people, community for people aware of this matter. We will educate them about the importance of safe browsing experience and then actually make them adopt the solution.
Okay, we have Save a Babe. Is that right? Next. And Youssef is also a great example of how things can build on one another. So started as an idea during the Cyber Mini Pitch at Boise Entrepreneur Week, and has since built up and will be participating in the Cybersecurity Entrepreneur Challenge as well. So again, all of these feed into each other. They're all starting points, and we're here. So can you make sure your mics are on?
Testing.
Testing. Also, check, make sure it's good. Is it working?
Oh wait, should I? Oh yeah.
Okay,
Cool.
Awesome.
There is one part where there's like a short video, so I might have to play with the computer. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, you're good to go.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Abby. This is Gwen, and today we are excited to present our idea, Save a Babe, an app designed to create a safe space in any place.
So a huge problem we're facing in our community today is that in social settings, especially social drinking settings, like Treefort even, women are dealing with sexual harassment. And a study in 2016 actually found that over 75% of women have reported sexual harassment, both not just verbally, but physically in social drinking settings. And so I know many males are probably thinking, like, who cares? This doesn't matter to me. I hope you can just consider all the women in your life, your children, your sisters, so on and so forth. We just want to be able to create a safe place for women in all social settings. And we also want to create a place for empowerment for women so that they can also try to fix this problem as well. And so to combat this, we had this idea for creating an app where essentially women can ping each other. And so what this would look like is you're in an uncomfortable setting, you'd send out a ping, and then other users on the app could just come and attend to you. And I'll show you more what that looks like down further in the slides. But just some features that this app has is there's location sharing. That's an optional feature to help individuals who are attending to your ping come find you easier. And then the ping, we call it a stress signal. So that's just something you can send out. And then just like Uber and Lyft has, we want to have a verification system to ensure that people on the app are safe to help you out. And that's just going to be essentially a background check. And then we have a customizable profile visibility. This is essentially so you can, so we want to make this app available to all genders, but we are starting with women. So I guess the idea of the customizable profile is you can say, hey, I only want like men and non-binary people to help me in these situations, or I only want women to help me. So it just helps customize it more.
So like Gwen mentioned, we are inclusive for all genders on this app. However, it's primarily targeted towards females since we deal with these issues primarily. As you can see in Boise alone, there's over 100,000 female identifying population. And if you expand that to Idaho and the US, you can see there's a huge market for this. Our main strategy is going to be using social media marketing. We also want to utilize App Store optimization so that it shows up on the first page in the App Store. And then we will offer referral incentives for users so they can invite their friends to join the app as well. For the revenue model, we're doing the freemium premium model. So our basic app is free and includes all the features that Gwen mentioned. The premium version includes some empowerment tools. So we'll have some communication and body language education, self-defense tips, and also a fun little feature where you can send someone a gift if they helped you out in the past.
So this is kind of a model we have set up for what this app looks like. So you'll have a profile. You can add features such as like the height of you, so you're easier to locate. You can add a photo of what you're wearing that night, so it's easier to locate you. And you can also add some stuff in the notes tab down here to start a conversation. And then on the other side of things, what a ping would look like on the other end is it would look something like this. And it can be a wide range of pings. So this lady just like wants someone to walk home with her because she feels uncomfortable. And then as far as our progress goes, we're kind of down in starting the app development section now, and then we want to do some testing and deployment once we have the funds to do so. And this is our team. I'm Gwen. This is Abby. There's just a few skills that we have attained over the years and can utilize to make this happen.
This is something I'd be very interested in being involved in, just from a passionate standpoint. But I'm curious, even though it's kind of on the other side of it, how do you prevent people, abusers, from using it as a platform to make things worse?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question. And yeah, we thought a lot about this, which is where we kind of started with the background check stuff. And then the customizable, the user customizations, we're hoping that can allow, I guess when you say abusers, do you mean like past abusers or like just anyone dangerous, I guess?
I was an abuser. I got on the platform and say, hey, who's having a problem around here? Who can I take advantage of?
Yeah, we also, while thinking about this, we wanted to create a feature where your profile is directly linked to someone, like you have to accept and say, I am going over there to find them before you can get the information of where they are, what they're in need of. So your profiles would connect and would draw like a tie to both of you. Since you have to be verified, your driver's license or whatever is used is going to link you to that person.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm curious what kind of product validation you've done, what kind of tests or role-playing scenarios. What have you done that makes you think that this product will work in action?
Yeah, so I mean, we honestly haven't got to the testing section yet. Like, we just started developing this. But yeah, ideally, I would like to maybe start implementing it within like the Boise State community, just to see how that goes, because I know that there are a lot of sexual abuse cases. I mean, I get notifications all the time on my phone. So I would hope to start there and just see how that goes, and then hopefully broaden it out to a more wide audience.
Thank you.
Okay, Lab Rocks.
Testing, testing. Good morning, everyone. It might be the afternoon, but
Not quite. If it's
Not quite,
afternoon,
yeah, if
then
it's
we're way
afternoon, then we're
behind.
behind, yeah.
So let's see. Will you just check the clicker?
yeah, so, yep. All right.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chase Flora, and this is my product, Lab Rocks, a rock solid foundation for curiosity and learning. Now, I'm sure you've seen and I've seen where you go to a restaurant or you go to a store and you see a kid who has just been given a tablet or a phone and is just completely enamored. They're not learning anything. They're not doing anything. They're just being stimulated so they can be quiet. And I see that and I'm saying, there's something we can do with that screen time. That's why I'm making Lab Rocks, an AR geology educational app that'll encourage excitement and skills in kids who are ready to learn geology. It'll feature experiences such as AR experiments, user-made photographic rock collections, and geology lessons. Now, there's a clear market opportunity for this. 72% of parents value STEM and computer science as after-school activities, and we hope they would extend that same sentiment towards our app. Our competitors in this field are only paid on the App Store and in the Google Play Store. They're not even aimed towards kids. There is no app for it. But our go-to market is kids. But obviously, kids don't have the purchasing power that their parents have. So we're aiming at parents and parents as teachers in that market. And then we're not aiming at school districts because they're glacial. My mom is a high school teacher. She's been it for 30 years. She knows how slow it is. And she tells me all the time about how they never adopt anything new. Our active marketing would be visiting and demonstrating the app at STEM conventions and homeschooling conventions, as well as ads in magazines on school resource or student resource websites, educational websites, that kind of thing. And then our revenue model is a freemium model. So we have a basic free package. You get one experiment a month, one lesson a week, And then there's regulated ads because we really don't want to make this a Trojan horse for kids that they see an ad and then they get totally sidetracked by it. There's modular, so you can buy individual lesson sets, individual experiments, and then the main selling point is this premium membership where you get more experiments, more lesson sets, and you get the new lessons and experiments early, as well as the fact that all ads are removed from the product during membership. And then our main cost would be the fees. Traction, this used to be a Figma mockup in October, and now it is an app that I'm currently testing on my phone. We've received a lot of guidance from our local departments. I've talked to many teachers. I've talked to many parents through my mom's connections. And they've all expressed significant interest in this. And not to mention that I'm also an IEC finalist, and I've pitched this before in October. My next steps would be to trademark and trademark our IPs and expand, establish LabRocks as an LLC. We'll create a social media presence on YouTube and TikTok to get kids who maybe don't have parents that have these materials, but to get the kids and say, hey, maybe that's interesting, and they'd get into it. And then our future needs would be programmers and marketers. Now, I am a team of one, but I'm a designer, learner, and I'm a rock hound at heart. That's why I made this. I'm very passionate about it. But I am supported by my professor, Brian Cleveley, the business marketing department head, George Tanner, and a local professor of geology at Idaho, Erica Rotter. LabRocks, a rock-solid foundation for curiosity and learning. Thank you so much.
I'm curious to know more about the advertisement component of this. Tell us about the companies you're looking to partner with or promote on your app, and how that interacts when you're, or how that looks when you're marketing to students specifically.
Yeah, so I'll make a little clarification. This isn't like a curriculum. This is more for just kids who want to learn and parents who want their kids to learn. My mom was very into getting her kids to learn and want to learn. And then the markets that we'd the advertisers that we'd look at, they would have to have a certain vetting process of, you know, it has significant amount of learning potential in it. You know, certain STEM skills have to be a part of it, such as being able to explain a question or being able to formulate a hypothesis, very basic STEM skills that are kind of being practiced by this. That would definitely be a huge part of it. Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about one of the things that I saw on your slides, which was that you are looking for more developers,
yes,
and more marketers in the future versus the model you currently have, which is, hey, I've already got a lot of this built already, and launching it at more of a grassroots level. What do you need more of those for?
I need more of those for to get it to the professional level that it should be at. What I have right now is to the best of my abilities. I'll be honest with you, not a super big programmer. I'll leave that to people like Jonah. But it's at a level right now that I could put it out there, but it wouldn't be to the level where it could compete with those very professionally made models, such as an example, one of them on the App Store is very professionally made. It's made by a whole team of people, and it comes off as very refined. Mine has some issues with it that are a limitation of me as a programmer, but not as a designer.
Okay, I was fortunate and I got to see LabRocks pitch during the Idaho Entrepreneur Challenge prelims. And my favorite part was during the Q&A, one of the judges was like, well, my kid has rocks, and pulls one out of his pocket. He goes, I'd never go anywhere without it. Meanwhile, I'm like, and I have my kid's rock, and it was sitting on my desk. So it was pretty.
Testing.
And will you check your, hey, we're gonna roll straight into it. Thank you.
All right, my name is William Hatch, and today I'm going to take you on a journey about why I, with the help of my partner, Caleb Cornell, founded the company Velify Technologies. I was on a bike ride, riding behind a guy with a $10,000 bike. And the bike was beautiful, it was pristine, but the one thing that drove me crazy about it was the tiny bag that he attached to the back of his seat post to carry his flat repair supplies. It was noisy, it was loud, it was bulky, and it really bothered me. And I wondered if it bothered anyone else. So I did a survey among people in East Idaho and road mountain bikers, and found that 73.7% of the sample used these saddlebags at least once in their life, and 94.7% of the sample were not satisfied with their current solution, whether it was a saddlebag or whatever else. And so they said things like, it's too bulky, it's not aerodynamic, it's hard to get what you need, it just doesn't work. And so I made the ultimate solution, Velify Technologies. This is a product that carries everything that you need to fix a flat tire out on the road. Some of the key features and improvements from the benchmark item is the integrated tool slots, so you can have instant access to anything you need. It has a lightweight body due to the 3D printed manufacturing process. It's an aerodynamic profile exposing essentially zero area to the air and the wind. It has rubber contact points that allows a safe, carbon-friendly environment, and it's a universal design across all disciplines. Our market opportunity are these road cyclists. We can ensure that they are ready to fix a flat tire on the road in any scenario that they need, while also mitigating the losses due to drag or losses to their aesthetic of their bike. It's actually one of the cheapest dollar per watt savings on the market, and as I know personally, cyclists are willing to spend any amount of money to get faster. Our go-to market are these bike shops. So there are over 50 bike shops in Idaho alone, but we already have 5 that are ready to partner with us. And in the database of only one of these shops alone has over 5,000 customers that have visited the shop at least once. So we know that there's going to be a lot of people, and we're going to let the bike shops do the marketing for us. So it's the perfect opportunity to take it to market. So let's talk about numbers. We plan to sell these with and without parts so that a person that already has the supplies that needs to can buy it and not have to waste the money on it. We plan to sell them for $35 and $60. And seeing that it costs us $5.15 to not only print it, but also attach all the rubber points and stuff, that produces a margin of $30 and $40. With the 60 that we've already produced and are ready to sell, that would give us an instant revenue of $2,850. Our progress to date is as follows. In the last couple months, we've been able to start up a new LLC, Velify Technologies. We have 2 distributor partnerships that are willing to give us their product at wholesale price, about 50%. We have invested $3,000 in the company personally and are ready to invest more. We have the papers completely filled out to file a provisional patent, but we are going through some advising currently with a patent lawyer. We have the official release in April, so as soon as we get that provisional patent and our rights are protected, we will release it to the shops to sell. With the winnings of this competition, we would be allowed to triple, quadruple our production rate, and it would be simply not possible without being able to keep up with the demand. So that's what I'm here for. We also need to fund a little bit of the funds for that patent, and so this is a great opportunity to do that. So like I said, I'm William Hatch. I know the market very well. I connect often with the cycling community. I'm a mechanical engineer at BYU Idaho. My partner, Caleb Cornell, is the mastermind behind the manufacturing processes of 3D printing, and he's allowed me to troubleshoot all the problems that I've had with trying to print in PETG. And I just appreciate the time that you've spent listening and any questions that you might have.
Well done. I'm curious to know, so I could see a product like this really taking off, and you're set to launch in April. Tell us a little bit about how you plan to achieve mass market manufacturing, going from a garage, if you will, 3D printed product to something that you can send out to millions of customers.
Great question. So we currently have our own printer, but if necessary, in a large order that might come, we also do have this company in American Falls that allows mass printing of products that you send them files for. So in the case that we can't keep up with manufacturing, we do have an outsourcing opportunity there. But we do plan on just bringing boxes of these things to the shops and selling them for a slightly lower price so that they can resell them.
So the pricing model was retail or wholesale?
So that was retail. So the products will go for $35 and $60 retail price. And then with the distributor part, the pricing included, that would be our margin. So that's including the prices that they are willing to give us.
Why not just sell direct to consumer?
What do you mean by that?
Build a website, sell it online?
Good question. I think it's just upfront costs. We're willing to go online as soon as we have the funding to do so.
Okay, 2 more pitches. Excuse me, that would be the Treefort last night, having too much fun. Sea Arms, you're up next. Okay, we're gonna do it. We got 2 more pitches. We're gonna make it right on time.
Models will make more sense to me.
And your clicker is right over there if you just want to test it. Awesome.
Okay, testing. Everyone ready? Okay. Hello, I'm Hunter Holbrook from Team C-Arms. We are an interdisciplinary engineering team aiming to significantly enhance the operation and navigation of C-arm medical devices. Today I'm excited to share with all of you our novel solution to a global operating room struggle. First, what is a C-arm? It's a large, movable medical device used in hospitals to take x-rays. These x-rays are mandatory for surgeons throughout a surgery. These machines are incredibly large and cumbersome. Here you can see the one that we're currently working with in a real operating room. The current problem is that in the status quo, once the surgeon has an image, they have to move this C-arm back out of the way so that they can then move it back later to take a new image. The problem is that once the surgeon has a desired x-ray, if this will click. Okay, the problem is that once the surgeon has a desired x-ray, the system causes them or requires them to then bring back that C-arm back to the exact same position as before and just essentially relocate it. The current problem is that it requires hundreds of scans to relocate that x-ray. This constant relocation takes several minutes and it's extremely inconvenient to the operator and the patient. And additionally, the operator has zero confirmation once they've actually reproduced the same image. And I'm sorry, this presentation is, animations are kind of wonky for a minute. So the main objective for our design team is that we're gonna create a system that lets them quickly and accurately relocate the C-arm. The process works like this. The process works like this. So first we have an extreme incentive for this project. There's $0.91 billion is the current C-arm market, and it's projected to grow thanks to COVID-19. And there currently are C-arms with built-in navigation systems, yet they cost over $1 million and are unobtainable for the vast majority of hospitals. Our current systems are manual, around 90%, and they cost around $200,000. Our plan is to integrate our own system into the manual C-arm that allows quick and efficient relocation. Our current prototype is only $1,900. So the current solution works like this. First, we use image detection to relocate the C-arm. First, a camera is attached to the top of the C-arm that looks down at the patient, specifically a surgical site. Nearby is a small QR code that is then attached to a surgical adhesive. We use the live feed from our camera to locate the exact position of that QR code and save it. Later, when it's time to relocate the x-ray, the operator will get new coordinates from our QR code. They then follow a live feedback system on a monitor that we install, which helps them return back to the saved point. Once they're close enough, our monitor gives them a visual confirmation to take a new x-ray. So our current progress includes purchasing all operational components that we need, like the camera and monitor. We have designed mechanical attachment prototypes that go on the C-arm, and we've successfully been saving real-time coordinates with our algorithm. With testing a real C-arm in that same hospital, we've been achieving an accuracy of less than 1 millimeter. So our business plan is that we would offer this as an attachment product for all manual C-arms, which is again 90%. We could sell it for, say, $90,000 and still remain profitable while being well ahead of the high-level C-arms that cost over $800,000 more. We would sell directly to hospitals or C-arm manufacturers, and all of our components, most of them like the camera and the microprocessor, are taken off the shelf and would be assembled together in some sort of manufacturing plant. So I want to come back to the value of this project. Let's say that we cut relocation time by just 1 minute. With around 20 relocations per surgery and the national cost of $70 per minute, we're saving an astonishing $1,400 per surgery in every hospital around the world, while also reducing radiation exposure and increasing surgical accuracy and convenience. If you support Team C-Arms, you're supporting a novel, life-saving system that is feasible for every hospital around the world. Thank you.
Being the lawyer, I'm going to ask this. Do you know if there's any kind of like FDA or regulatory testing that you have to go through in order to get this thing approved?
There probably is. That's a question we've been asked before, but the surgeon that we're currently working with is open to just putting it immediately into his hospital, and we plan to start using it in his hospital by the end of April. So it's working for him. I'm sure large scale, once we're past a prototype stage, we will require FDA approval.
What's stopping you from charging $700,000 for this?
We definitely could. That's something that's been suggested to us. Our main mechanical engineering professor said it'd be ethical to go around $10,000, but again, anything within that $800,000 range is theoretically profitable to us.
Did you have a follow-up?
Quick follow-up. Is this protectable? What's stopping your competition from developing a similar barcode technology and just implementing it into their current systems?
So we're not really sure why it hasn't been implemented yet. This idea was proposed to us. The surgeon said he's had this concept since the 90s and no one has implemented it yet. So just being the first, as another group said, is what we're going towards. Thank you.
Okay, route distribution. Oh, thank you. Yeah. It should be. Nope. Yep. There you go. Just want to test it, both of them.
Can you hear me? Yep. All right.
Will you check the clicker? Yep. Awesome. You're good to go. Thank you.
All right. I want you to imagine yourself as a bookstore owner. Your sales are decreasing, your margins have been cut, and employee costs continue to rise. You've been in this industry for a while now, and you've noticed book sales are continually being sold more and more online. Being the entrepreneur you are, you decide you want to build a website to help you sell books online. Except you run into some key issues involving inventory, production, and shipping. You see, the publishing house you buy your books from requires you to buy in bulk, meaning you have to hold inventory in your store. This introduces some risks because now you have to sell the books in your store in order to get rid of that inventory. So at this point you think about, well, what about Amazon services? After more research, you learn that you only make around 3% for every book you sell, and it'll be almost impossible to find new, undiscovered authors. Now, wouldn't it be convenient if there's a platform designed to help online booksellers sell books and a platform for non-reputable authors to be discovered? Well, this is what Root Distribution does. It's an online website that connects independent authors to independent online sellers while providing a drop shipping-like service as an alternative to traditional manufacturing. Let's draw it out. This is Root Distribution, our online website that currently exists today. Here are the two markets that we work to serve: independent authors and independent online sellers. See, authors simply upload a book to Root Distribution, where online sellers can then browse and select novels that they like to sell. Since we're integrated with large website builders such as WordPress and Shopify, all the seller has to do is create a profile on our website and then link that profile to their own website. If we zoom out, we can see how this works a little bit better. An author uploads a book to Root Distribution, and then a seller links his account to ours so he can start selling books on his own website. The seller receives an order, and he passes that order over to Root Distribution. Using our software, we pass that order over to the closest manufacturer to the customer. They print the book and ship it out. Make sense? Good. Because it gets even better. Our online sellers only have to pay $35 per month in order to use our services. And our authors only have to pay a $50 fee if they choose to upload more than one book. With these numbers alone, we plan to break even by month 6 and offer 3x return on investment by year 2. And of course, those numbers are dependent on our go-to-market strategy. I plan to first target authors in the United States, along with over 12,000 independent bookstore owners. I plan to first target independent bookstore owners because their lifetime value to the company would be higher than that of our broader market, which is anyone who can build an e-commerce website. I plan to reach these two markets by implementing an affiliates program. By targeting affiliates instead of our direct customers, we can significantly cut down on cost while gaining access to their audience of highly qualified customers. This long-term gives us a competitive advantage and allows us to build a reputation with the customers that we want to sell to. Now, I mentioned this before, but rootdistribution.com is a live website. I encourage you to take a look at it, but if I'm going to be honest, this website does not have any of the features I talked about today. That's why I'm here. Root Distribution needs 15 grand to get its feet off the ground. You have my word that every dollar you choose to invest will go into building the website's functionality, and together, we can change the world of online book selling. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I don't know a ton about this market, but I just say Amazon does that. And I heard you describe how they're not, it's not the same, but how many authors and bookstores are asking for this that you've talked to?
Right, so for the authors, Amazon is a self-publishing alternative to traditional publishers. This allows them to get higher margins on their books for everyone they sell. But Amazon's a very overexposed market, and they have to market the books themselves, which is very challenging for authors who aren't necessarily business-oriented. For traditional publishers, they only accept about 1% of all authors. It's very hard to get into, and then even if they do get in there, they don't get as much margin as they would using our services. So that's a reason for them. And then for online sellers on the other side, they would like to use our services because they can create niche websites about certain topics and target that towards their customers and easily sell books and make money. And that's something you can't do on Amazon.
Thank you so much. Okay, so now's the hardest time. One, for the judges, because they have to deliberate. And I can tell you that when I've been a judge, it is very difficult, especially after presentations of each of the qualities. So congratulations to all. Great job. I am going to ask the judges to leave with Alina. They're going to go out and deliberate. But Casey Wheeler, last year's winner, is going to come and share a little bit about the progress made since she won last year. And then I also know from the students' perspective, this is the hardest part because it's the waiting game. But we will fill this time with a really cool story. So excited for you to hear.
Alina, you have the check, right? Mm-hmm. The check's in the other room. The check's in the room we delivered last. Okay. Thank you. Yes. I can ask some questions. Okay.
Yeah, I can just give like a little spiel of who I am.
Yeah. That would be so
And I can also talk about just graduation, your job,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll get started as the judges. And I can ask any questions too. We will ask the judges, if they don't mind, headed out to deliberate. And then I'm going to hand it over to Casey Wheeler. So Casey won Hackfort a year ago today. Let's see. Woo!
Thank you.
And excited for her to share a bit about her story, what has happened since winning, where she's at now. She has a really cool story. And then if there's time, again, we got to be out of here pretty quick here, but if there's time too, I will run the mic around if you have questions. And then Casey, if they could maybe also follow up with questions outside afterwards.
Oh, yeah, of course. Any questions that you guys have, I'm always open to answer questions. But first, I just wanted to say good job to all of you. You all had fantastic pitches, and I'm excited to see, which one of you is going to go home with the check here. But I think regardless too, like, I think this is just a great opportunity, and I'd really encourage you to, keep in touch with each other as you're going through and developing these ideas. Since when I pitched last year, I really tried to stay in touch with those people and, just kind of hear their ideas and continue on with that. But yeah, so my name's Casey. I pitched last year my business idea. Hacky Sack Security was what it was called at the time. And now I call it Encryptrix. So I've been working, continuing growing the idea, and really just my idea was making sure that cybersecurity education is accessible to people who don't know about cybersecurity. So especially vulnerable populations like elderly people and kids who don't get that kind of cybersecurity education, since a lot of times it might be at a super high level for those kinds of things, but bringing it down to a lower level that people can understand, and especially, helping those vulnerable populations. So I've done some workshops surrounding that, targeting kids and elderly, and just teaching other people about cybersecurity and showing people it's not something that is super intimidating, but something that is approachable to all people. And kind of since then, like I said, been continuing to put on those kinds of workshops. And I interviewed for a job position around cybersecurity insurance. So that's what I'm currently doing. I just graduated in December from Boise State in cybersecurity, and am working, helping organizations understand their cyber risks and mitigating that through insurance. So, and that was kind of a proposition when I was interviewing, was talking about how I had experience taking these complex concepts about cybersecurity and bringing them down to a lower level people can understand that might not be familiar with their cyber risks. So I think this is a great opportunity to really practice your skills in speaking, and can lead to a lot of different opportunities regardless of if you're winning the competition. I just want to say keep with your ideas and keep pursuing that. But yeah, I'd love to, any questions you have to ask, and Kara might have some questions too.
What'd you do with the large check? The really cool. Where is it hanging up? Where is it? Wait till you see the size of the check.
It is actually, I hung it up in my living room at my apartment, and now it's just on display, and it's kind of funny too. It kind of matched the decoration with everything, and so I don't even know if people notice it sometimes when they come in, because it just matches all my decorations, honestly. So, but yeah, that's just hanging up in my apartment.
I would love for the video to go viral. So if you win the large check and you want to walk into a bank with it, that would be awesome. And tag Venture College. Let's make it go viral. Any questions? Happy to run the mic around.
How do you stay connected?
As far as the connected with who?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
How do you stay connected with Hackfort, and did anyone from Hackfort competing help you refine your idea in certain ways, like judges or other participants?
Yeah, definitely taking the feedback that all the judges gave me from my competition was extremely helpful in kind of narrowing my idea. And when I first started, I didn't have a very narrow customer segment of who I was targeting with my idea, and I think that especially was really helpful, and also working with the Venture College to kind of further refine my idea and gain a clear direction of where I wanted to go with it. Also, too, I should probably mention this. From Hackfort last year, I got a job opportunity to help with a real estate title company put on a educational workshop for realtors to better understand their cyber risks. So I think you never know kind of what opportunities you'll get from things like this. And as far as just staying connected with the Venture College and, like I said, other students, and just staying involved in the cybersecurity community for me too was really helpful.
And Casey presented, was it yesterday or the day before?
Yeah, I presented on Thursday. I did a little workshop about password cracking, so how to actually take passwords and crack into accounts with that.
Did I see another hand? And I'll just add to that too. Please, if there's a contact you've made, if there's a judge, reach out to Venture College. We are happy to make that introduction. And if it's somebody that you haven't met during this process, but you're looking for whether it's maybe legal consultation, financial consultation, any other challenge that comes up, reach out to Venture College. Alina and I will never pretend that we know everything. We will find someone who can help guide you. So we truly are here as a network, and we're not going anywhere. So reach out at any point.
Yeah, no, and they definitely do have just amazing resources and are here to help really just grow your business idea. And, I just appreciate all their help. So definitely take advantage of that resource.
Any other questions? Yeah.
We have to record it.
I'm not very familiar with the Venture College, and somebody mentioned something about the incubation. Would you speak to that?
Yes, absolutely. So we actually have two incubation programs. So one is the Boise State Venture College Incubator. That is offered both semesters, so spring and fall. And it's moving to a 10-week crash course in entrepreneurship based on the Lean Startup. We just wrapped up this semester's cohort, so we'll be kicking off in the fall. And if you reach out to me or Alina, I'm happy to. We're going to dive into customer discovery, minimum viable product, a value proposition, looking at your financials. And so really within those 10 weeks, it's a cohort-based setting and a reverse classroom style. So you are expected to do the work and then report back to the class. So you really learn from each other. And then ongoing is the National Science Foundation I-Corps program. So that's when I had kind of plugged earlier, NSF. That is tailored towards deep technology ideas. And students are able to go through it. We'll have faculty members go through it. It's based out of a regional hub. And that's a 4-week crash course specifically on customer discovery. And I know Yusuf went through it. You will be conducting quite a few customer interviews. You will also be reporting back. We are partnered with 8 other universities. We might be at 9 now within we're the Pacific Desert Regional Hub. And so that one has a $3,000 stipend for completion. And completion, you have to complete all the interviews. You must have a team member show up every Friday. I believe it's a 3-hour cohort on a Friday setting. And you can go through both. Yusuf went through both the NSF and the incubator, and they really feed really well on each other. So the idea is that it'll help you accelerate and further your business ideas. And with the incubator too, knowing that it's spring and fall, it doesn't mean we're not here to support you between. So reach out, and in the summer, we're also happy to share the resources that we have available. Other questions besides who won? Any? Oh, the judges are coming back, so that's a good sign. Let's see. Oh, and I see a really big check too, so another great sign. Yes. Thank you so much, Casey. Thank you for sharing. And great resource. Please don't hesitate to ask Casey questions. So I'm going to hand this over now. We're putting you on the spot.
Okay.
I'll hold this, yeah.
All right, this year we were able to pull together $4,000 for the winner. I'm not going to say much more, guys. And without further ado, the winner of the 2024 Hackfort Tech Challenge is Guardian Pin. Let's get in for the photo op. Sean?
You're in the middle. You're going to be, yeah, team of $4,000. Yeah. You want to space it out? Here we go. Oh, my God.
And we should get one with the judges too. Yes. Let's get in the center. Let's get dead center and the judges in it as well. And while the judges get ready, the winner of the golden ticket for Boise Entrepreneur Week is also a Guardian pin. Surprise! You got it. All right, let's huddle up.
All right, thank you guys so much. It's Saturday. It's the last day of Hackfort. There's still some great programming and workshops. If you haven't checked out the interactive space, please do. We also have some great performers tonight. Yeah, I mean, it's dry in here, so I would hang out. Come hang out. But yeah, and there's also, if you guys don't know, there's Music Talks, Podfort, Filmfort also up here today. Great stuff going on, so please enjoy yourselves. Thank you everyone so much. I can't wait for next year. This thing is, okay, I didn't mention it earlier, but I am so stoked of the number of teams and also more than one school that showed up. This is what we're trying to do, guys. So tell your friends, if you were in this today, to apply next year and be part of this.
And please take this to your bank. Go
There
to the drive-thru and try to cash it.
Yeah, please try to cash the check.
And then video it, put it on TikTok.
And I just want to call out to Sean and Mike. They didn't give themselves enough credit. We have them to thank for the coveted purple wristbands that everyone is wearing right now. Thank you for the Treefort experience and for having us. So.